answers to last night's homework. All right, so straightforward two-step equation here, number one. Subtract 1 from both sides. That leaves me with 3x equals 9, and divide both sides by 3. X equals 3. Your check. 3 times x plus 1 might equal 10. And I'm going to put in 3 here for x, right? And so that means this is 9 plus 1. And sure enough, 9 plus, or 10 equals 10. Sorry. 10 equals 10. Check. So my answer is x equals 3. 3 is the number that makes that equation true. Number 2, a subtraction. So in this one, we're going to add 6 to undo subtraction. We do it to one side, we do it to the other side. Again, these cancel each other out. We are left with 4h on this side, and over here, 28. I have not put in the bubble here for these. If you're a bubble person, I'll put one on problem number 1 also. Remember that you cannot do anything to this bubble until it is by itself. So that's why we have to get rid of this minus 6 by adding 6 to both sides. Now we're going to undo multiplication by dividing. Divide both sides by 4, and h equals 7. Check for this one. 4 times h minus 6 might equal 22. And instead of the h there, I'm going to put a 7 because that's what I think h is equal to. So that's 28 minus 6. And sure enough, 28 minus 6 is 22. Both sides are equal. So my answer is correct. H equals 7. Moving on. Number 4. Negative 8s is my variable term. There's a 1 added on, so to undo that, I subtract 1 from both sides, leaving me with negative 8s when these cancel out, and over here, 32, equivalent equation. So now I'm going to undo this multiplication by division, dividing this side by negative 8, dividing this side by negative 8. Negative 8 divided by negative 8 is 1. So s is equal to 32 divided by negative 8 is negative 4. And the check for this one, negative 8 times s plus 1 might equal 33. We'll put in a minus 4 here, and then use the order of operations. So negative 8 times negative 4 is 32, and 32 plus 1 is 33. Both sides come out to be 33. So that's a good answer. All right, and this next one's a little bit different. There's a fraction in front of the variable, or also, you might remember we talked about that this times 1/7 is the same as dividing by 7. Either way, we're not going to do anything with that first because it has the variable with it. And the first thing we have to do is get rid of this plus 5 by subtracting 5 from both sides. Negative 2 minus 5, let's call that negative 3. And so 5 minus 5 is negative 5. And over here, then I get 1/7 b equals negative 3. And to undo this multiplication, I am multiplying both sides by 7 over 1. It's either undoing the division, or when you multiply by when you have the variable multiplied by a fraction like it is here, then you multiply by both sides by the reciprocal. You might remember us saying that. So this is negative 3 over 1. So b equals negative 21. Some of you might be like, hey, that's not what I got. But okay, stand by and watch me here. All right, I just want to show you what happened. So here's my check. 5 plus 21, negative 21 over 7 change this. Sorry. Eraser. There we go. Okay. 5 plus 1/7 times b, which I think is -21, might equal -2. Okay, and I think, man, this is terrible. Okay, 1/7. And I think that b is -21. Okay, so 5 plus 1/7 times negative. Well, 1/7 times -21 is -3. And 5 plus -3 is 2. 2 does not equal -2. What happens when your check doesn't work like this? Well, it means your solution is wrong. You've made a mistake. Either you made a mistake in your solving up here, or you made a mistake in your check down here. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can find out what the mistake was. Well, over here, I subtracted 5 from both sides, and what is -2 minus 5? Yep, this is the most common mistake that people make. -2 minus 5. The way I do this is to do -2 plus -5, and that's not -3, that equals -7. That equals -7. Okay, so right here, this is a mistake. It should be -7 instead of -3. A very common mistake is subtracting positive and negative numbers. Everyone just needs to be careful about that all the time. Okay, all right, let's scratch all this out and we'll start over again. Myself a big eraser here. Oh yeah, it's a big eraser. All right, so we're going to start this one again and not mess it up this time. So this time, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. This time, I'm going to take my time and say 1/7 b equals -2 minus 5 over here. That's the same as -2 plus -5, which is -7. So this is -7. Now I can multiply both sides by 7, and I get b equals -49. And the check, let's see, 5 plus 1/7 times -49. We'll see if that comes out to be -2. In here, I'm going to substitute in my -49 over 1. Okay, and that's 5 order of operations again. So I'm going to do 1/7 times -49, which is -7. And -5 plus -7 is -2. So -2 equals -2. Check a row. That's the right answer. B equals -49. If you make a mistake like that and you can't find it, just put a question mark at the end of your check and you're good to go. All right, back here, another simple one, really, number 18, all additions here. And so we'll subtract 5 from both sides. These are the easiest ones where you don't have to deal with positive and negative numbers. 4D, and 37 minus 5 is 32. So divide both sides by 4, and D equals 8. And a check says that 5 plus 4 times 8 might equal 37. That's 5 plus 32. Using the order of operations again, multiply first before you add, and 37 does equal 37. So my check is good, and my solution is D equals 8. All right, the last one here is a twisted one, like the example that I showed you yesterday in the video. So here we have a subtraction in front of a variable term, okay? Subtracted variable term. Oh gosh, sorry about that. Subtracted variable term. This is what I call a twisted equation, okay? you're tempted maybe to add 15 to both sides in this equation. Okay, that's what you might be tempted to do because you see a subtraction. You're like, oh, the opposite of subtraction is addition, and so you want to add. But that is not really, this is not true. This 15 is not being subtracted from the variable. The variable is actually this, plus a negative 1/2. Always do same, change when you have this type of equation. Same, change. Always do same, change with this type of equation. So now I have this. Now this 15 is clearly added to the negative 1/2 b, so I'm going to add 15 to both sides. Add 15 to both sides. These will cancel each other out. Not add, subtract. Just talked about it and then I didn't do it. It happens. All right, so we're going to subtract 15 from both sides. Subtract 15 from both sides. That goes to 0, leaving me with negative 1/2 b equals negative 2 minus 15. I'm not going to mess this one up again. So down here, I'm going to go negative 2 minus 15. That's the same as negative 2 plus negative 15. That's negative 17. Negative 17. All right, now to get rid of this multiplication by negative 1/2, I need to multiply both sides by negative 2 times negative 2 over 1 if you want. This leaves me with b equals 34. Negative 17 times negative 2 is 34. The check for this one, squeeze it in over here, 15 minus 1/2 times 34 might equal negative 3. That's 15 minus negative 2. 15 minus 17 equals negative 2. Negative 2 equals negative 2. So my solution for this one, b equals 34.